In an entertaining and at the same time engaging domestic battle on the undercard of Galal Yafai versus Francisco Rodriguez Jr. was a bout that took place between Connor Walker and Liam Taylor, two welterweights that engaged in a fight that was a great warm-up for the main event. And when we talk about domestic fights, this fight was contested for the BBBFC British Commonwealth welterweight title. These two men engaged in a battle of how you like to see. There were punches exchanged, there were punches landing, there was ebb and flow back and forth. And the favor in this fight going in was Walker. Taylor rose to the occasion. At moments during the fight, he was peppering Walker with shots, straight punch combinations, but he just didn't seem to crack enough to make a difference. And the shorter Walker was wading himself in, but he wasn't slipping a lot of shots. Some of them were catching off the glove, some of them were landing, but it was clear from the onset that he was the more powerful puncher. He hit Taylor with a couple of shots early in the rounds that shook him a little bit and made him go back, but he hadn't landed anything extremely solid as they were battling back and forth. But there came a moment in the fight where things became more definitive, and that was when you could see Walker, whose record now is 16-3 with 1 draw and 7 KOs, 30 years of age, fighting out of Wolverhampton, West Midlands, UK. He was able to break through Taylor's guard, and in the 7th round, a fierce left hook to the head of Taylor caught him flush and almost turned his head 180. Taylor went down and he was counted out. But this was a very engaging fight. You know, I often tell people, just watch the sport of boxing. You get a chance to learn things about fighters, their tendencies. You get to be able to identify characteristic traits, because there is a limit to what can transpire there in the square jungle. And these two men brought the best out of one another in a bout that was challenging. Now, I will tell you, neither of these guys are going to win a world title. That's just not going to happen. However, you need fights like this to be able to tune in and see how boxing works. You see, because a lot of people are not going to be necessarily thinking about these guys. But when you see these type of battles, you can learn from what you're seeing. Taylor fought spiritedly, but he just wasn't able to put a dent in Walker. His record now drops to 28-3 with 1 draw and 14 KOs. He's nicknamed Dynamo. He's 34 years of age, and he is out of Middleton, Lancashire, UK. Will he be back? I think he should fight on. He gave a solid effort, but that left hook was crushing. It was a lot like the left hook that Brian Norman Jr. landed against Jin Sasaki. The type of a devastating punch that can end a fight one time. Earlier, going back when Richardson Hitchens defeated George Kambosos Jr., it was a left hook to Kambosos Jr.'s body. So left hooks in the month of June have been the maid of order. And I tell you, It's exciting when you can see fights ended with what I call the walk-off home run. That's a shot that lands that ends the fight right away. These two men gave a great account of themselves in an entertaining and, I said, engaging bout that was a warm-up for the main event. And I hope that each guy gets a chance to come back and do something again for the future. But in the UK, fighters are treated with respect by the fans, and they are not looked down or frowned upon. In the US, they like to dismiss fighters that may not necessarily be at the top of the sport, but they have a lot to offer. But it takes a real boxing fan to tune in and know what they're looking at. So salute to these guys, Conor Walker and Liam Taylor, for putting on a great show as we were having a warm-up for Yafai versus Rodriguez Jr. I want to say salute to those guys and shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know if you watched this fight, what did you think of the match? And was it exciting as it came to its abrupt ending? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.